Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the IRPAS Racing Series here on iRacing. Tonight we take on the gorgeous but demanding Nürburgring Grand Prix layouts for 45 minutes of Pro-Am racing action. The circuit is known for its flow, its elevation, and high-speed commitment sections. It's all going to come down to some virtual elbows out here from the Nürburgring Grand Prix layout. My name is Sean Stam here live on Stam Studio Network. We got these point standings here between the AM class, Joel Loudon, Harry Severn, and Joshua Muir, as well as those pro drivers who will take a look at here in just a few moments' time, as we are already standing starts, ready to get going here. It's already starting to look 3 and 4 wide, but this is it's an orange zone here at turns 1, trying to keep things cool, calm, and collected. But it's still, well, we're making it through here pretty calm and collected here for this opening section of the race until Jordan Butler, one of our highest running AM drivers, goes around. It's still Josh Heggie and Andrew White. Tim Reed, Tim is still up here in this battle for first, second, and third. How about Michael Zugmont starting to join the battle as well? He's going to start to look on that outside line, that Porsche 911 number 20. Almost a little bit of contact, may have been contact there, possibly net code between Oliver Jansen and Michael Zugmont. Michael is now forced just a little bit wide. Here comes Harry Price. Unfortunate for the start of the race there for Harry after losing out 4 positions. Still our highest running AM driver, it's Nicholas Batsia there, right behind this battle for 6th and 7th. Nick Batsia for that Porsche 064. He is our leading driver in the AM category now after not even that one just yet. Betsy, he's got Thomas Godfrey right there behind him. Very nice finishes there last week for these drivers. They're going to have a nice start to the season in this IRPAS Season 7 of racing here. A little bit to the left side tires off of the racetrack there for Josh Heggie here. That's going to open up the door for Andrew White. That's Clark St. James Motorsport Machine. We've seen them have all the pace here throughout the IRPAS racing, kind of sim racing series history. Well, looks like he's got some real life racing there underneath his belt, looking at the driver picture. But right now, Clark St. James, that's going to be the Aston Martin machine, back to the pole sitting position, back to where Andy White started this race. Teammate for him there, it's Tim Reed in the 155. He's also trying to make a move down the inside line of Josh Heggie. Josh, look out here, this may get tight there in turn number 1. It's a 16 turn track, 3.2 miles long. It's definitely, you got that tighter technical portions of the track, as well as you start to throw in the elevation sections as well. It's just that much harder to maybe get some of these passes down as your tires and brakes start to get up to operating temps and pressures. Look at the crossover move there for Tim Reed. Josh Heggie completely blew, I think that was 4 and 5. Now as we'll make our way through 6, 7 this time by. Nice pass for Tim Reed. The two Clark St. James Motorsport teammates are up into 1-2. Third driver for the team, it's Harry Price. Harry was really fast in practice. Matter of fact, led our pro standings in practice. Harry's unfortunately fallen back to P3. Here comes Samuel Cruz. Michael Zugmont are also right there. And then it's that once again the AM driver of Nicholas Batsia there right behind 7th place and 8th position at the 064. 2 Porsches run 7th and 8th and 10th. And then it's Jarrell Williams. He was also really fast in the AM category. He runs speed 9 here tonight. So that's an Aston Martin and kind of a meat of a Porsche sandwich there. So we'll look at the start of the race here. It was a quick standing start here. We've got to see all these drivers. We're going into an orange flag condition here, so you're kind of, as these drivers known to, just live to fight another day. We're just here to get through turn number 1. And there was a little bit of a checkup there. You can see on the top right of your screen, a Ford Mustang coming to pretty much a dead stop. That was last week's AM winner, Joel Loudon, who pretty much has to come to a dead stop in his Ford Mustang. I believe that was 3 Fendi drivers are able to it out there. I mean, look at them. There's 4 drivers and 1 shot there. Oh, Rene Garcia also joins it. I believe he got 3rd in that AM category finish. Look at 4 Fendi paint schemes all in one there. Throw a blanket over that battle. Back to this battle between Nick Batzia and Jarrell Williams. Battle for the AM category position for the race lead. Man, how about Nicholas Batzia? He had some pretty nice position and race pace out from Daytona last week, but he also had some real nice pace in practice today. Led in the AM category in practice standings. Well, he's leading in the AM category race right now, just trying to run away from a hard charging Jarrell Williams. And if we take don't have the graphic, but if we take a look at the last lap history between Nick Batzia and Jarrell Williams, Nick's last lap time was a 158.4, Jarrell Williams a 157.7. So, hey, Jarrell's continuing to apply the pressure there for P8 overall, but battle for the AM category race lead. Another nice battle that we have on hands here. It's, I believe, Mauricio Marquez Ramos as well as James Moore. That was Mauricio Marquez Ramos and Cameron Burke. They're going at it here, kind of front bumper to rear bumper. The 23 of Cameron Burke trying to hold off the 36 of Mauricio. Cameron, he's up 4 positions from where he started this race in that the Mercedes AMG GT3 machine. And although it's iRacing to talk about all this BOP as much as they want, well, I guess we kind of start to see some BOP here tonight on the racetrack. It's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different manufacturers, 4 different car makers that are leading this race, and then you got 2 Mercedes AMGs up in the top 5. And then Cameron Burke is also running in one of those Mercedes AMGs, running here in 11th position, trying to run away there from Mauricio Marquez Ramos and trying to close the gap from Thomas Godfrey there. You see him kind of compromise corner entry there, hit it to the second corner exit, as it was kind of a back and forth. It shifts the weight of the virtual car there with you. It's going to be hard to get the front end to rotate. Cameron Burke doing just that though here tonight, doing at a pretty exquisite pace. Jordan Butler, James Farding's going at it. 2 drivers out of the UK. James Farding's out of Upshift Motorsports right now, trying to upshift his way towards closer and closer to Jordan Butler. This is going to be a fun driver if we have we got our left front suspension cam on here. Watch this front sink into the racetrack into braking. Almost kind of locks up that left front tire. Nice kind of braking, or nice ABS, as well as able to smoothly release that brake pedal for James Farding. He's able to retain that kind of slipstream and drag position. Compared to Jordan Butler, Joel Loudon runs up right in front of them. Rene Garcia, P3 from last week at Daytona, that AM category. So it's still Clark St. James out up here at the front of the pack. Andy White, Tim Reed, as well as, I believe that's Oliver Jansen, that other Clark St. James, Harry Price, the other Clark St. James Motorsports drivers. They've only really pulled away from about P3 with a 1.27 second gap. Josh is still right up in there with this battle for the race lead. Oh, look at this move here. Holy sent! They put the stamp on that one and sent it through the mail that did Oliver Jansen in that number 20 Porsche machine. Now he's still going to have that inside line. Josh Hagee's going to have the outside. Nope, now it's going to be Harry Price. Josh is, I don't know if he's looking more out of his front windscreen or out of his rear view camera here at this point after a cent of a century for Oliver Jansen. But that's what IRPAS racing is about here. It's about how you want, it's how you want to race others. It's how kind of want to race them the way that you'd want yourself to be raced, and it's all racecraft. These drivers putting on a show here today on Stam Studio Network from the virtual Grand Prix layout of the Nürburgring. Samuel Cruz, Harry Price, Oliver Jansen. Whoa, 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 a huge lockup there for Oliver Jansen as he starts to really send his Porsche machine. It's not going to have the front grip there that he needs. It loses 1, count of 2, count of 3 positions. being said, look at Michael Zugmans as well as Samuel Cruz going to say thank you very much. Probably an easier positioned gains there for those two drivers. They've gained 1, count 'em, 2. Harry Price is up to 4th after losing 2 on the start, but he's still got the pace in that Mercedes-AMG Clark St. James Motorsports machine. Let's hop on board, Harry, and take a look at that dashboard at the bottom right. Hitting up upwards of 150 miles per hour, and 5th gear shifting it down all the way to 2nd. Early turn in rotation here. Try to not clip those corner rumble strips. They're 3D Red Bull to kind of sausage rumble strips there. Harry Price, look at how much gap he's able to hit to really close this gap here in turn number 16. Now he's going to have that slipstream. Now he's going to have that draft right up on that front nose. Here comes Josh Heggie. Here comes Harry Price. Samuel Cruz starts to join this battle as well. Josh Heggie, whoa, he better look out. Here comes Harry Price. It's now door to door out of corner number 1. They're still side by side. It's still Josh Heggie who retains that final driver interview spot. Harry Price is not quite done here just yet. He's not done trying to make something happen as well. He's now on the beat of the sandwich of Samuel Cruz. Michael Zugmans as well as Oliver Janton starts to join this battle once again. We are cresting our way just now out of 10.5 minutes down out of this 45-minute long race. Hey, everybody's gonna have to pit at least one time for fuel tonight. Keep that in mind. Oliver Janton, I know that you want to fight for your right to party from the virtual Nürburgring Grand Prix layout, but I wonder who, if anybody here tonight, there's got to be somebody trying to make a little bit of a fuel save strategy work. Pushing this up hard for the race lead. Not sure if there's any fuel saving going up between these top 6 drivers, but maybe 7th, 8th, or even our AM category race leader still. It's now Jarrell Williams who has now passed. Oh, excuse me, I thought Jarrell was AM earlier up in the race. Excuse me there. So it's still Nicholas Batsia, our AM category race leader, and by quite a margin there, about 3 seconds there to Thomas Godfrey, Mauricio Marquez Ramos, and then you have Cameron Burke there running in 13th. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4th category battle for the AM class lead. Right up in there with these drivers, it's Eduardo Vecino, and this is going to be a fun driver to take that virtual driver eye camera. Oh wait, I believe we have that real driver eye camera with Eduardo Vecino. Appreciate that, Eduardo. We got Tim Reed also joining us with his live driver eye cam as well. Let's hop on board with Eduardo through turns 1, 2, 3. Let's see this elevation hungry, this tight technical Nürburgring Grand Prix layouts here. See what Eduardo Vecino can make of it. Down the hill into kind of a double, I call it a double apex left here, because you kind of got to set it up to then really set up the next corner, which is right here. Oh, look at the lightning fast, the cat-like reflexes. Now for Eduardo Vecino, he whipped that wheel pretty quick back to the right, keeping it off that rear bumper. Whoa! But now he's got the inside line of Mauricio Marquez Ramos. Nice driving here for Eduardo Vecino. If he makes this pass on the outside line, it'll be a move of the century. Look at Eduardo Vecino go! Corner clear. Eduardo Vecino up to P11 overall. Mauricio Marquez Ramos falls back to P12 where he qualified. Cameron Burke, James Moore, and Jordan Butler. How about Jordan Butler here tonight? Let's see, he finished P2 according to my notes from our season opener from Daytona, the high banks, the World Center of Racing last week. Man, Jordan Butler, he's having a nice run here tonight. He's running P15 overall, so that's going to be, if my math is right, 1, count 'em, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th running position in that AM class. He's still moving and grooving, trying to slice his dice and work his way back up to where he started. I believe he started in about it was 9th position where Jordan Butler started after some quick maths there. Joel Loudon checking on last week's race winner. I think I had that backwards there. Jordan Butler was 2nd fastest in practice. Apologies there. Checking in on last week's race winner though, Joel Loudon. I believe I have this one right as well. He's running that GT3 Ford Mustang, and I would still kind of consider this a newer car here within the iRacing universe. I mean, its brother there, or sister, whatever you want to call it, the GT4 Dark Horse Ford Mustang has now also been recently released. But they kind of do still have their similarities with one another, and it's tough. It's heavy. But as well as I think it's one of the best sounding race cars within the whole iRacing simulation motorsports universe here. It's, I believe we got, oh yeah. My gosh, you can't tell me. That is some American horsepower right there going to work for Mr. Joel Loudon out of the UK. So man across the pond, putting some across the pond power to work there. It's still, how about Anton Baden, excuse me there. I've probably butchered a couple of names here tonight. He's one of our Fendi racing drivers, one of these paint schemes here. You see EVAS Designs. If you're looking to get some iRacing paint schemes done, or even Eduardo Vecino does way more than that, but Eduardo, he's also put down together lots and lots of just, can I say this on stream, just badass paint jobs for the whole Fendi racing crew. John Jennings right there, right behind him, also in that Aston Martin Fendi racing machine. He's still about 0.8 of a second back behind Anton here. Both these drivers running, and this would be, I believe this is 7th and 8th in the AM category. Dan Fendick, we got to check on league owner, the man, the myth, the legend. He's running P21 right now, but that's overall, so probably 9th or 10th of my math is math in there in the 327 machine. There's a reason iRacing Simulation Motorsports, they call it iRacing Simulation Motorsports, not video game motorsports, because, I mean, these tracks are laser scanned, these cars are laser scanned, the sound design that goes into this game as well. I mean, it's recordings of real life racing cars, and you can hear it every time they whip around the camera there. Dan, we appreciate everything that you do here for us and allowing us to come back and broadcast another season of IRPAS Racing here on Stam Studio Network. It's Andy White still for the race lead, now with a 7.4 second gap over his teammate Tim Reed. If you're just now joining us, well, first of all, welcome in. My name's Sean Stam, live here on Stam Studio Network. I'm going to take a quick look at this race restart here. Once again, kind of a blimp eye shot. So this is our race leaders. This is an orange flag zone after a after the start of the race, excuse me. And it was kind of clear up here and out up front, but then it looks like kind of the highway as you head home. There was one checkup, and it all leads to something just standstill traffic basically, and then we start to see Fendi racing teammates look 3 and 4 wide. There's Eduardo Vecino. He had the 17 down his outside there of John Jennings, as well as the 63. What a nice, clean, cordial start there. Only one spin for this field of 27 drivers, but I mean, it was very, very well done from the whole pack. All right, Andy White, he's still got that 7.5 second gap. You got to think here, when do you start trying to fuel save if you have a gap like that, or maybe if you're still in this gaggle of cars back here, you could throw a blanket over still third, well, yeah, got to call it second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth here. I don't think that you can really do any fuel saving, except it's after one of the long straights here from the Nürburgring Grand Prix layouts. Maybe try to lift off the gas and maybe downshift one more gear, less than what you normally might do here. But it's all going to be a game of strategy. That's another great reason I love broadcasting this International Racers Pro-Am series, because there's strategy that goes into it. It might be a 45-minute sprint, but we still do have to make that fuel pit stop here tonight, and it's going to be interesting who is either saved enough to try and maybe shortcut this fuel stint, or maybe who's just trying to go He's just trying to make it all happen here on pace. Oliver Chance, we've seen him, speaking of pace, have quite a bit here tonight, but unfortunately falls back here to P7 after a little bit of a slip and slide earlier on in the race. And this is a couple laps to go, but we really haven't had too many spins to cut to here. This one's going to be the AM driver, Brady Waltman, trying to reel in the 63 up here in front of him. This is what I said, you got to be careful on those rumble strips and maybe even sausage curve, you might want to call it this time. We'll take a look at it slow-mo, and you can see it doesn't take too much to upset one of these GT3 racing machines. Already kind of upset the suspension work there, and oh, maybe it actually didn't even look like he hit the rumble strip. Maybe just tried to carry too much speed, too much throttle input there. Well, excuse me, too much steering input and get back to the throttle pedal there. Maybe a little bit too quick for him. Get back up here. How about this battle? Dan Fendick and John Jennings are starting to go at here. Dan, oh man, I thought that was Dan down and down there on the inside, but that was John Jennings. Here comes, that's gonna be, I'm trying to see the car number there. That is another Fendi Racing teammate of Dan's there, so we'll see up there in front of him, but now right there behind him, I think that was the 23 out there on that Mercedes AMG. So that's Cameron Burke. He's out back on the racetrack, and that's something that we really emphasize here in the IRPAS racing community. If you do happen to take some kind of detrimental damage here earlier on in the race, well, get back out here on the racetrack. It's we all do it here for fun. We all do it here for some virtual elbows out as well, but it's all for fun. It's all racecraft, and it's all competitive racing here. And Cameron Burke, we really appreciate you for getting the 23 back out here on the racetrack. Anton Braden, he's now past Joshua Mir as Joshua Mir, Jordan Butler. Is that Eduardo Vecino? No. So Jordan Butler looks like, okay, he just picked. Mauricio Marquez, Anton Braden, Rene Garcia, Joshua Mir. So lots of these AM category drivers who did just pit. Joel Loudon has not just pit, so he's got one more lap to go or 1 to 2 more laps to go, depending on how much fuel he has saved. But this being as big of a track it is, you would imagine there's only so much fuel that you can save in one of these fuel tanks. Joel, he is up to the 3rd position in the AM category class, but we should kind of start to see this cycle back out here. Here's 2 teammates with, making the dream mates action here happen here tonight. Harry Price, Tim Reed, 2 Clark St. James Motorsport machines battling it out for P2 and P3. And look at it, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Teamwork, making the dream work. It was front bumper to rear bumper on the stretch, and then they they kind of get off of each other. They slightly battled out there in that tough, that tight, that technical hairpin turn 1. They'll still run door-to-door racing. Look at them go here down the hill. We'll get towards 3 and 4, make our way towards 5. It's Harry Price who takes back away P2, but Tim Reed, he isn't done with this battle just yet. Look at him, he gets a little bit better run there out of the exit of the corner with that bit better of the run. He's going to use the speed, use the momentum, tries to make the inside line work. Tim Reed knocking on heaven's door. No, not quite open just yet. These 2 Clark St. James Motorsport drivers continue to go at it, and Michael Zugmont concludes. He starts to close that gap here just a slight bit as well. Let's hop on board with the virtual driver iCam as well as the rear driver, rear light view. Tim Reed driver cam on that left side. Battle for P2, it's heating up and broiling here tonight from the Nürburgring Grand Prix layouts. You're watching live here on STAM Studio Network. This is the International Racers Pro AM Series. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy a quick crank it up here. Be live back with you in a few moments time. slowly crank it back down. Sean Stam live here on Stam Studio Network. Thank each and every single one of you who have joined in live on this broadcast, or if you're watching the race replay back. But live there in YouTube land right now, of course, we got Terry Stam, we got Alexander, we got Doug Lint, Jeremy Jukic, Steven Sutherland, Dougland Al, Michael W, Jeremy Jukic. I appreciate each and every single one of you, especially those of you down there live in YouTube land. Makes it that much more fun to do the dream job up here, bringing you live coverage here from the International Racers Pro-Am Series. Like Douglas said, Oliver Jensen, after his pit stop here, we might possibly see Oliver start to say it here, Douglas, shake and bake his way back up towards that front of the pack as things start to cycle back out here. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, this is big, this is huge. Michael Zugmans, one of the biggest movers here tonight. Uh-oh. Take a look on that graphics. Yep, there's only, the drivers are only available to, how do I explain this? They only have a 10x incident limits there, and Michael Zugmans, he's all the way up to 17. So this might, matter of fact, it's gonna be a drive-through penalty for him. If you're newer here to the iRacing Simulation Motorsports, contact with another driver, more often than not, it's probably going to be 2 unless it's huge contact. You're looking at 4x, but 2x for slight contact as well as loss of control. Off tracks contribute quite a bit. They're only 1x, but they'll definitely start to add up very, very quickly. Definitely ask me how I know on that one. So Michael Zugmans, he's up there with already 17 incidents. That was just a quick drive-through penalty there, but after that, he's still not able to put any fuel in the car, obviously, that being a drive-through penalty. So that's really going to hurt the pace. Probably just dropped him about 20 seconds. I would about call it in 20 seconds from where Michael would originally, from where he would have finished this race from. Eduardo Vecino, 1.3 seconds now back behind Michael Zugmans. Let's see who's taking a pit stop here tonight. Right now, only looking at like Samuel Cruz. Wow, so it's still pretty earlier on in the runnings. Yes, Samuel Cruz as well as Oliver Jansen there. Only drivers within our top 10 standings who have made a pit stop. And then you start to look at Jarrell Williams, Josh Heggie, Nick Batsia, Mauricio Marquez Ramos, all drivers who have made that earlier kind of short stint, the front stint of the race. They've fallen back here to about 10th, 11th, and 12th. But things will start to cycle out here as we are continuing to see with Josh Heggie and Jarrell Williams, the 10th and 11th in the overall runnings. I guess that would only be 9th and 10th as we only have Jordan Butler in 9th overall, continuing to lead the AM category. Nice nights here for that. Where is he? The number 95, there he is. The number 95 Ferrari GT3 M machine. He's got that number 95 Lightning McQueen paint scheme, and he's putting some pretty nice respectful lap times down. His best today was a 1:57.83. Best today of the field out of Clark St. James Motorsports out up at the front. It's still Andy White, Harry Price, Tim Reed, 1, 2, 3. They're looking for a Clark St. James Motorsports podium. Podium wipe there. It'd be those top 3 in the pro category. Andy White's best lap time tonight. Everybody ready for this? You might want to sit down. A 1:55.8. The rest, AM drivers still putting down 56.5s, and then the field putting down 57s, 58.5. So this is lights out pace right here that we're seeing from the number 86 Andy White. Harry Price gonna have to start to be a little bit careful. There's only 4 more incidents until, well, I was told it was 10x drive-through, but I think it might actually be 15 because I'm now showing Eduardo Vecino with 11 incidents as well. Not having to take a black flag drive-through just yet, but he's getting dang close to it as he continues to dip tires up and off of the tarmac. Eduardo Vecino, though, nice run for him. He's gained, God. All right, if you stood back up, well, you might want to sit back down for this one. Eduardo Vecino, now our biggest mover of the night, up 19 positions. He's all the way up to P5 after starting there, kind of the rear of the field. But how about the number 27 Porsche GT3 machine? And he's not just done here just yet. It might be 20 positions gained because he is slowly but surely, actually he's not slowly, but he is shortly reeling in. Well, as soon as I said that, he lost quite a bit of that gap to Michael Zugmont there, up to P4 up in front of him. Michael showing a yellow flag. Does he have a time penalty right here? I think he does. Yeah, I believe Michael Zugmont just maybe had cut the track and had to slow down a little bit, because that just went from a 2.7 second gap back to a 1 second gap there for that battle between Michael Zugmont and Eduardo Vecino. Here we go, here we go. Will it be this lap that Eduardo Vecino is able to get this P4 pass done? There's only 15 minutes left to go in the race, and albeit that there is about a 17-second gap to that final driver interview spot, this has been a pretty fun kind of battle to keep cutting back here too. Really quick though, this has just happened. Travis Fleming in the number 26 Audi. Oh, this is off pit lane. This might be a case of some cold tires. Look at the flashy lights there for one of the race leaders, Clark St. James Motorsports. That's racecraft right there. That is, you can't get much better than that for Travis. He saw that one of the front leading drivers was coming up right there on pit exit. He just slammed on the brakes, and although it says it was an incident in live timing and scorings, no, it's there. That's just really nice racecraft there for Travis Fleming. Here's a real nice racecraft ethical wheel battle between Anton Braden and Rene Garcia. Ooh, boy, here comes Rene Garcia. He might try to fake the inside. Oh, he fakes the crossover, actually tries to make it happen. Then there's gonna be contact between Rene Garcia and Anton Braden. There goes Jordan Butler right there behind him. This is starting to get big. This is starting to get huge, because this is two AM drivers that were battling for one of those driver interview positions there. No, no, no. Anton and Rene, both, or at least one of the drivers I saw just there, had to take the tow. Here comes the 74, a little bit of fake down the outside, then maybe tries to fake the crossover move. Definitely looks like there was contact between the two. Take another look at it here, and we'll slow it down for you. Look at the fake move. I love it. I love to try to set trying to set him up there out of corner entrance, and then maybe just maybe misjudge the crossover there. And look at the nice evasive cat-like reflexes for the number 40 of Joshua Muir. There goes Jordan Butler right on by. Those drivers saying thank you very much. That's pretty big here, as now Andy White and Harry Price are down. I believe that they had just taken their pit stop as we took a look at that race stop strategy. It's Andy White still continuing to lead, as that gap will, well, that'll definitely help his cause there going into the strategy call there. Harry Price, he's P2 still, Tim Reed P3, Oliver Jansen P4, and Samuel Cruz P5. That being said, with all that AM shenanigans though, man, how about the number 9 of Nicholas Batsia? He's able to avoid those shenanigans there from two of the AM class drivers, continuing to lead in the AM class, and now it's P1, P2, P3. Nicholas, Thomas Godfrey, as well as Mauricio Marquez Ramos, who all run nose to tail on the track with one another, albeit it's quite a few seconds apart. But 8th, 9th, and 10th right now all belong to the battle for the race lead in the AM class. Thomas Godfrey, I'm liking what I'm seeing here, and I'm also liking what I'm seeing out of the strategy pit stall, or the pit calls here tonight, excuse me. I believe that's now going to be just about, oh, it's still got to update because Andy White, Harry Price, and Tim Reed all had pit this lap. So now every single driver here tonight has pit, unless they had found themselves down and off of the virtual race track. So all that strategy talk that I talked about earlier, well, now we can all throw that out the window. Now it all comes down to overwhelming speed and strategy, as well as maybe who's able to keep the 4 tires on the tarmac the most. We're starting to see more and more drivers get black flag penalties for approaching that 15X position. Joshua Heggie sitting in B7 overall right there. Now we see him down and in pit lane. We already saw him take his fuel stop. We believe this is going to be a quick, no, I don't, depends on what your definition of quick is here, but 1, count them, 2, count them, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's got to be about a 20, maybe 25-second drive through here. just crawling at pit speed pace here. And back on track for Joshua. He's going to lose quite a few positions. He's going to continue to lose out on track here. Here comes Thomas Godfrey, the driver here we were just looking at. This might get tight there in turn one. Oh, Josh, thankfully he pins it down to the inside. But here comes, he's right now going to find himself right in between this battle between Mauricio Marquez Ramos and Thomas Godfrey. That's P2 for that AM driver class. Although that we know that Josh, he has the speed, he has the pace of one of the pro drivers. It's going to be kind of, to me, if I put myself behind the wheel right here, right now, it's going to be hard trying to keep myself out of this battle. Although it is for overall track position, you're not really fighting anything there. Oh no, there was contact, but it was Josh's fault. He gets a little bit too deep. He goes for a play in the sand as if it was summer vacation out here. Josh, it's not summer. Get it out the beach sand there, and backing out on cert track he goes. But we saw, oh man, he's also going to deposit quite a bit of sand up onto the racetrack there. It's going to be interesting for Joshua Muir, who is the next driver through this section. He's going to make his way through the gravel there. Josh, he's now going to be down a little bit of pace as we saw some fascia drop off that car. What's Josh in? Yeah, he's also in a Ferrari, just like we see Jordan Butler. So expects that number 16 to kind of fall like a rock at the timing and scoring standings. So we'll go back up to Nicholas Batzia, our race leader in the AM category class. There's only 9 minutes to go left here tonight from a track that only takes about 2 minutes to get around. So we're continuing to approach that white and checkered flag ever so closer here tonight. And nobody's approaching it faster than Andy White. Golly, that still his best lap time has just blown me away with the 55.8. His last lap time was a 57.09 for Mr. Andy White. So you talk about speed, you talk about pace and racecraft. You can throw the whole book at it here, but Andy White, he has enough pace here that his kind of cool down laps are sitting at about 0.57, 0.09s, and that's blistering pace. That's blistering pace at probably not trying to push things too hard here, as he's still sitting at that 2x incident limit, keeping all 4 tires up and on the racetrack and keeping it out of any argy-bargy with any lap traffic. Harry Price, teammate to him, he still sits P2. These drivers running P1 and P2 after what was an immaculate battle between the 2 Clark St. James Motorsport drivers earlier on in the race. Take a look at this battle here between them, as it was back and forth. It was back and forth. Oh man, I don't even think words could describe how good this battle is. Look at how much room that they are leaving within one another. Excuse me, that's Andy White's, and there we go. No, that is the wrong. Oh no, I was looking for it. Okay, I'm about to find this battle because it was good. Here's Harry Price and Andy White's going at it here. But as I was mentioning there, excuse me, I'm looking for that Harry Price one. Here it is. It was fun watching them go at it. Tim Reed was also kind of joining their battles up there in the 2 Clark St. James Motorsports really battle for the race lead earlier on, but it is a lack of it here. It's no lack of battle between 4th and 5th as Oliver Jansen, Samuel Cruz. They're just separated by 0.4 of a second here. I wonder if you don't really think of tire wear ever coming and becoming a factor in GT3 racing, but I think it's more of maybe the mental and physical wear on you as a driver. As we'll hop on board with Samuel Cruz here. I mean, you are judging braking zones from centimeters at a time here. You're judging these times on when you want to turn that steering wheel in, get the front weight distributed, get that rear to rotate there. Samuel Cruz goes for a little disco ball blinky. But there's so much that goes into finding blistering speed in these GT3 machines. Trust me, I can't do it. I'm migrated. I don't think I've traded the steering wheel for the microphone, but I've definitely migrated up here on the broadcast. Well, it's a lot of fun to watch these drivers really perfect their art form, I guess you could really call this, as it is still, I mean, only, what, 0.4 of a second that separate Oliver Jansen and Samuel Cruz here. After, what, 40 minutes of racing. That's pretty well said. That's pretty well done between these two, as well as throughout throughout the pack here. It's hard to beat the IRPAS International Racers Pro-Am Series live here on Stand 50. Hopping on board with Samuel Cruz here once again. There's the corners. Remember, our top speeds, we're hitting about 150 miles per hour at the highest speeds. Oh, it's probably down the front stretch here. Let's see if the slipstream. Let's see if the draft is able to give Samuel Cruz any sort of big suck going here to turn one. I don't. There's definitely. I think he's close enough, but it's really just not that long of a straightaway going in here to turns one. Samuel Cruz is a little bit harder. He's a little bit more aggressive on the brakes, releases them a little bit more sooner than Oliver Jansen does. Closes the gap there into turn one. We'll see what happens. 3, 4, into 5 and 6. It's so tough. The Nürburgring Grand Prix layout, it invites you to want to over push the car, to over rotate the car there into the kind of the tighter technical portions of the racetrack. And Samuel Cruz, he's fighting that condition of that McLaren GT3 right now. That's the only McLaren GT3 on track, and hey, Mr. Samuel Cruz, how about him? He's got it all the way up to P5. Nice run tonight for the number 25. This is Rene Garcia, Josh Hagee. Man, oh man, that the slip and slide, as well as, oh, has he got another drive-through penalty? I was just about to say the other one just killed his pace earlier on. There goes Josh once again into the pit lane. We're starting to see quite a few more black flags pop up there on screen. And how about Dan Fendick? Man, Dan Fendick, he's only at one incident here tonight. He could possibly be, I don't know if we still give out points for the lowest incidents gained. Only one X here tonight from Mr. Fendi out of Fendi Racing. 327 has also worked his way up to P20. Keep it up, Dan. Uh-oh. We saw this at the last stint, kind of right before that's the fuel stint, excuse me there. Harry Price and Tim Reed, this gap is starting to close in with one another, and I think I did see a little flashy out of the headlights there for Tim Reed. He knows that he's getting a little bit closer. Right now, he's got that fishing line cast out there. He knows that the fish is definitely hooked on. Well, that fish being Harry Price. Tim, he's just slowly reeling him in, slowly but surely. Now cut the gap to 0.6 of a second. Harry Price, if you got anything left here in the defensive tank, let's see what you got here. Tim Reed, he's still, look at how aggressive Tim is into the corner entrances. That it is I don't know how he's able to get the throttle pedal down there on corner exits, but he's able to keep the speed. He's able to keep the momentum. Tim Reed, we could possibly be looking at our P2 driver here tonight, whether he was saving a little bit of maybe saving a little bit of tire rubber underneath him as well. We should be coming to approach our white flag next time by, as well as the checkered right after that. Andy White still out up front by almost about a mile, 12-second gap. It's this P2 and P3 battle starting to really heat up and broil these last closing laps here from the Nürburgring Grand Prix layout. We'll work our way back up the hill and into the chicane. Let's see if Harry Price, if his kind of mental and physical game still on its money here. He's gonna break it about the 100, shift it down back to second. Does Harry Price right in front of Tim Reed. Whoa, Tim Reed, he's aggressive on the rumble strips there to turn 16. Well, turns 15, here's 16 this time by. Let's see if this will be our white flag lap. It all depends on when Andy White got to the stripe. We'll see if Barney the flag man is waving the white flag loud and proud. I didn't see Barney waving the white flag, so this might come down to one more lap after this before for Harry Price and Tim Reed to continue to battle it out here for P2. Real quick, there we'll go across the line to John Jennings as well as Joel Loudon. This is another Pro and Am category battle, kind of different ends of the, I don't know if you call it the skill base or just kind of the iRacing spectrum here, but Joel Loudon, he's trying to fight really hard right now to not allow John Jennings, remember, John Jennings was admired in about 21st position earlier on in the race. Now John, he's all the way back up to 14. He's going to try to wake the inside line worker, at least find a little bit more clean air up on the front nose of that Aston Martin machine. Up the track map here because it looks like Andy White is on his white flag lap here as the clock ticks to 0 up on the timing and scoring in the top left. It's the final flag. This is the white flag lap. Anything can go between this battle between Joel Loudon and John Jennings, and anything can still happen up here for the race lead. Andy White, he does have that 11.5 second gap, but it's Harry Price and Tim Reed who continue to go at it. It's this battle for P1 and P2 who go at it here into the tight, into the technical turn. John Jennings, nice pass. His door quarter clear. We'll go back out here to the race lead as Andy White comes out of turn 16 for the final time tonight. He's got the flishies, he's got the flashies, he's got the checkered flag in his name. Congratulations, Andy White, coming away with 2 podium finishes to start the IRPAS Season 7 career there. Harry Price and Tim Reed. Tim come across the stripe 4/10 of a second apart there. Congratulations on a Clark St. James Motorsports podium white there. 1 through 3 belonging to Clark St. James. Oliver Jansen with some nice pace tonight. He'll finish it out P4. Samuel Cruz, Jarrell Williams, 5th and 6th. Eduardo Vecino, 7th. Nick Batzia just about leading every, holy flashies for Eduardo. I've never seen him do the strobe effect there. Nick Batzia there just about leading every single lap there. That was really well done for that AM category race win. Congratulations, Nicholas. Well done. Get the champagne popping there for you tonight. Thomas Godfrey, after slicing, after dicing his way, working his way up towards that AM category race win, well, he'll finish P2. Jordan Butler, after leading quite a few laps in the AM category class, I do believe he will finish out P3. That's P10 overall. Michael Zugmott, Joshua Muir. Michael's going to finish it out, I believe, 6th in class. We'll call it just overall from this point on here. It'll be Joshua Muir, P12, John Jennings, 13th, and then we'll get those unofficial race results, the rest of them here in just a few moments' time, as well as those top 3 driver interviews. I say unofficial, official race results as there are still some drivers that are showing maybe did not take their black flag penalties, so we'll have to see what comes of this here. What a race. It's only race 2 of the season here. It's, already the 7th IRPAS racing season. Appreciate every single one of you, all the racing fans, all the drivers for coming out and put on a show for the Stam Studio Network race fans. Here we go. Here are the unofficial, official race results, and then we'll get with those top 3 driver interviews of each class. So I mentioned those top 10. I'll run through them again. These are unofficial, official race results per class. So it'll be not per class. These are overall race results. So Andy White, Harry Price, Tim Reed, Oliver Jansen. Then you got Samuel Cruz, Jarrell Williams, Eduardo Vecino coming in the B, that's 1 through 7. B8, which was our AM category race winner, Nick Batzia. He finishes P1 in class, but P8 overall. Thomas Godfrey, P2 in class, P9 overall. Jordan Butler, P3 in class, P10 overall. Michael Zugmont, after a drive-through penalty there, he'll finish it out P11. Joshua Muir, John Jennings, Joel Loudon, James Vardings, James Moore, and Mauricio Marquez Ramos running at the top 17. Renee Garcia, Josh Hagee, Dan Fendick, Cameron Burke, Travis Fleming, Anton Baden, Brady Waltzman, Tyler Reed, and Nicholas Meyer, who round out our 26 driver field here today. What a race it was from the virtual Nürburgring Grand Prix layout. All right, I'm going to mosey my way on over to virtual victory lane. Appreciate you all joining, and I think I have caught up here with
second gear for like an entire straightaway and just could not get it to shift. And then it would just randomly come back like nothing happened.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Andy, this is Sean Stam, live down here in virtual victory lane. You got yourself a copy.
Hello, Sean.
Hey, Andy, congratulations on 2 podium finishes back-to-back. Clark St. James Motorsport had the pace today. Man, top 3 finish for you all, but for you specifically, Andy, checkered flag is out. How's the champagne taste down there?
Yeah, it was a bad start as usual. That's my quirk. I'm no good at starts, but then we managed to get back into the lead and just control the race, look after the tyres, and save a little bit of fuel on the first stint.
Man, that's interesting that you do talk about saving a little bit of fuel on that first stint, because it comes down to just, I mean, tenths of a second in these fuel pit stops. And well, Andy, that's looks like you saved just the right amount of fuel up there to come away with the race win, and a really nice fast pit stop there during the race.
Yeah, we managed to save nearly a lap's worth of fuel, but I didn't want to extend another one, so I just thought, let's box early, we'll have a shorter stop and try and get back on with it, and we managed to, and it was a good result. Great race.
Man, it was a great race there, Andy. Great watching you. Congratulations once again on the race win. And I believe it was 11 seconds there at the line. Andy, who are we thanking? Who gets this race win all possible for you?
Obviously Dan for getting it all organised, and the guys at Clark St. James were always pushing each other in the practice sessions to go faster, so it won't be possible without them guys either.
Well, we appreciate that, Andy. Congratulations again on the race win. Back-to-back podium finishes for you. Hopefully we're chatting with you again here 3 weeks at a time next week. Congratulations, man.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, I believe we caught up with Clark St. James driver number 2. I believe it's going to be Harry Price.
Hello.
Hey, Harry, how was your race here today? It was most definitely, it was a lot of fun to watch from up here in the booth. And how much are you sweating down there behind the wheel?
Yeah, I forgot to ban the clutch last minute.
Oh, no.
We didn't do Daytona, and then I don't know if you did see at the start, I was just spinning up, so I think I dropped back to 6th or something. And then I was battling through the first stint just to get back into it, and then second stint my tyres was cooked. But nice little battle with Tim at the end. So yeah, happy with the result. Just not the clutch.
We did look like you were begging for grip, begging for mercy there on that race restart. It puts you kind of the middle of 3 and 4 wide through an orange zone corner, but that's the league here. That's IRPAS for you. They might be tough and aggressive, but it was all clean, green, and mean. Harry, although it was fun watching a loose and grip, and it was also fun watching you slice and dice, work your way back up to P2. Teammate battles for that second position at the end of the race. Harry, what was going through your mind, and kind of walk the race fans through what was going through your mind as you put your head down and got yourself back up to P2 throughout the rest of the race?
Just to like knuckle down really, get more of it, see what I could do. I didn't expect to get to where I was in the first stint, if I'm honest. Had some good battles with some of the other guys. Yeah, I just need to sort my clutch out. But to be fair, I don't think I would have got Andy. He's had a great pace this race, so even if I did get a good start, I don't think it would have done any difference. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Well, Harry, it'll be fun to watch you all 3 go at it here next week's time. Hopefully we're chatting with you. Real quick before we let you go, Harry, who are you shouting out? Who would you like to kind of thank for this top 2 finish?
Yeah, again, thanks for Dan for setting the events up. They're brilliant. Thanks to yourself for the great broadcasting. And then yeah, like Andy said, Clark St. James pushing each other every practice session, and it's definitely helped since, like, if we look last year, and I'm surprised at where we are, if you know what I mean, before. I'm losing my bloody train of thought here, but yeah, no good.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Appreciate you, Harry, and have a great rest of your night, man.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, man, another Clark St. James Motorsport driver. They round out the top 3 podium finisher positions in the pro category. Tim, this is Sean Stam live down here in the virtual top 3 victory lane position. Tim, how was your race here tonight? You started to get a little bit close to Harry Price in those closing laps.
Yeah, it was a good race. Well, I think I left it a bit too late to push. I was holding on to tyres early on because obviously it was nowhere near Andy's pace, so I just let him run off, and then was just doing a bit of fuel saving, and I picked up that slowdown that then put me under pressure by Harry, so kind of let him go and tried to tow off him, but he was too fast, and then thought I'll just push on the last laps and destroy my tyres that way, and kind of caught up, but just left it too late. I think still happy with the podium though.
Yeah, man, that's great point standings here for you as we continue to work our way through the season. Tim, that's also another great finish for you there, I think. Let's see.
Did awful on the first one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you finished P9 there for you. But
Yeah.
seeing the pace that Clark St. James had here today, I wouldn't imagine that we continue to see that throughout the race season. Tim, who would you like to shout out? And is there anybody who'd kind of like to thank here for your top 3 finish today?
Yeah, I got some friends in the watching on the YouTube. Josh, Jeremy, Doogie, and Michael. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Tim. That goes a long ways, and yeah, thank you all for joining here tonight on SSN. That's going to round out our pro driver interviews. Then we're going to cut to some AM driver interviews. That should about be it. But Tim, we appreciate that, and have a great rest of your night, man. Hopefully, we're chatting with you next week.
Yeah, cheers, fella. Thanks.
All right, Nick. Hey, this is Sean, man. You got yourself a coffee.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, Nick, you've done it. Congratulations. AM category race win. How did you get it done tonight in that Porsche 064?
That was after disastrous Daytona. This was a major relief.
Man, it looked like you had some pretty good pace here tonight in the AM category. Thomas was starting to close you down a little bit those closing laps, but you're able to run away with it. That's I know you got that the 1,500 road course I rating and that A class and the safety rating as well. Nick, how do you like these GT3 cars compared to maybe some of the other cars that you race within the iRacing simulation?
So for me, honestly, I'm a circuit guy. I'm a GT guy. I love GT racing. GT racing is what I pretty much love. Being a former Army guy and being stationed in Germany for almost 13 years. I spent my time places like Hockenheim, Nürburgring, Spa. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, that's really well said, Nick, there for you. And I'm sure that means it's got to be even more special here for you now that you find yourself in virtual victory lane in that AM category.
It is.
Well, I can hear you smiling here, Nick. Congratulations. I'll let you get to popping the virtual champagne, but before you do, or real life champagne. But before you do, Nick, who we thanking? Who we shouting out?
First and foremost, my wife Rosanna for putting up with my hobbies, and my teammates over at ESGI, Renee Garcia, Josh Heggie, Jarrell Williams, Josh Muir, Travis Fleming, Alex Howland, the whole gang, Dan Fendick and the IRPAS guys for allowing us to come and race with them. Awesome series, and looking forward for the next race.
I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your night, man. Congrats once again.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All righty, Thomas Godfrey. Hey, this is Sean, man. You got yourself a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, Thomas. Well, you get P2 in the AM category here tonight in the 69 Porsche machine. How did that Porsche handle these tight, technical, these elevation-hungry turns here tonight from Nürburgring Grand Prix layout?
It was fantastic. The car drove like a dream, honestly. I could go with another second's worth of lap time. That'd be really nice, but the car drove fantastic. This is, I had my first practice on this track last night. I've never driven this track before, so the car is incredible here. I drove this, the Corvette and the Ferrari, and this car just glides through the corners. It really feels like it's on a rail.
Well, it looks like it from up here in the booth tonight. Congratulations, Thomas. You were ripping through the corners, but I mean, keeping it out there on track as well. What was going through your minds as far as the incident count goes? We saw quite a few drivers have to take some drive-through penalties.
I had I think 8 towards the end there, and I saw a couple really fast drivers behind me catching up to me, and then all of a sudden diving into the pits, and it gave me a little bit of relief as I was pushing as hard as I could push the car without spinning it, trying to catch Nick up there. But we were running extraordinarily similar lap times. Yeah, the incident count really helped me out today for sure, especially with how strict it was.
Well, Thomas, we appreciate you taking some time out of your day after ripping around Nürburgring Grand Prix layouts. Real quick before we let you get going, and to that champagne, who we shouting out, who makes it all possible?
First off, I'd like to shout out Dan for setting all this up and for him fast-tracking me into this. So we only had talked at the beginning of this week or something like that to get me into here to race with y'all. Thank you guys for broadcasting this event. I'd like to thank my wife, Erin, for supporting me doing this. And I'd like to thank the guys that I normally race with over at Vital Motorsports. Zach and Eric, both great dudes, have supported me and helping me get faster and pushing me. We race every Friday night. So, yeah. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Thomas, and hopefully we continue to talk with you up here in some driver interview positions after the race, and hopefully you continue to race with us. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You do the same there, and I think that's going to cut it to our last driver interview, excuse me. But man, it's Jordan Butler. Jordan, this Sean, you got yourself a copy, man. Uh-oh. I think Jordan may have messaged. Okay, I'm not seeing any Jordan in here just yet, so I'll cut it down to Joshua Meir, I think, because I do see him waiting. Joshua, this is Sean. You got yourself a copy?
Yep.
Hey, Joshua. Hey, man, you had some real nice pace today. You gained 5 positions since the drop of the green flag in that BMW. I think you showed some real nice pace in the 40 machine. How is it driving? How did the 4 tires feel on the racetrack, Josh?
Yeah, the BMW was doing great here. A little bit of finesse needed, especially with some of these tighter turns, like the chicane towards the end. Needed some pretty hard trail braking to get through it, but other than that, it was solid. I had one spin out towards the end. Tires were a little cooked, but other than that, yeah, it felt great.
Well, nice start to the season for you, man. I know you finished B4 at Daytona last week. I think you're right up there with them this week as well. So, kind of what's going through your minds as well as we head towards another week of some good racing.
Trying to keep the pace. Honestly, Daytona was pretty solid for me, and obviously this was a surprise. I didn't even notice until we got to the end that I had made the top 3. So, I believe next week we are going to Australia, and I'm not great there, so as long as I can keep it together, hopefully the season will string out better.
Oh boy, it's always fun from the land down under. That'll be a blast. Joshua, last question before we let you get going. Who we think and who makes it all possible, man?
I'm gonna go ahead and shout out my family for supporting me and doing sim racing, letting me take the time to do all this. Like Nick said, all the ESGI guys that I race with, Nick and Jarrell and Travis, Josh, and Renee, everybody that raced last season with them and racing again this season with them. So everyone's pushing to be better, and Dan and the IRPAS guys for having us along.
Well, we appreciate it, Joshua. That goes a long, long ways there behind the scenes. And have a great rest of your night, and we'll let you get to popping that champagne.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Speaking of appreciations, before we get going here tonight, I appreciate each and every single one of you once again, live down here in YouTube land. Ricardo Cano, Jeremy Jukic, Steven Sutherland, Michael W. Jeremy, I think I already said Fendi Racing joins the YouTube chat as well as Terry and Ricardo. Ricardo, thank you so much for everything that you do for us behind the scenes. Oh, and Ted joins us as well on this college football Saturday evening. We appreciate it all. I'm going to get going here tonight on Stam Studio Network. I actually have a league race coming up, not broadcasting one. get back behind the wheel, so that's going to be pretty fun. We appreciate each and every single one of you once again. Have a great rest of your night, and until I think next week's time from the land down under. Thanks, everybody.